Guys, today is week 8, day 4. We're going to be beginning our individual project for this weekend. Okay? We're going to clone Facebook. That's the name of the app that we're giving it because I think it closely resembles Facebook in a lot of ways. So you can see that on Facebook, whenever you log in, there's like a form and you can create a post. You can click create a post here, and then on this screen you can see a bunch of posts from a whole bunch of different people, right? And depending on how well you guys do with this, we may do this some more, because I remember I've cloned Facebook before and I thought it was a lot of fun. So I think you guys would have a lot of fun cloning Facebook, uploading images, all the good stuff, sending emails, having different types of reactions, commenting. We're gonna start small though, okay? We just have posts, then we're gonna have a screen for a user to see their own posts, right? Post on their wall or like share to them maybe, as well as creating a post right here. So here you guys can see the application. We have sign in, sign out. When the user is signed in, they can log out. When they are signed in, right? I think I'm signed in as Qual right now. If I look at my first post, any of my posts, I can see that I'm allowed to edit my post, right? So what's it say right here? Qual's first post is now edited. So we're gonna save it, and we can see that we've edited it, right? We can also comment on it. Oops. Hello world. Here's a comment. This one isn't beautiful yet. That's okay though. But you can see here that the post has been updated. We have formatting for dates, some icons, etc. Okay? Does anyone have any questions so far? Lastly, we're gonna sort right here. So like, how I told you guys at the beginning of class when we were working in React and in the front end, focusing on the front end, we didn't know how to build APIs. I was like, you guys aren't qualified to do that yet. You don't know how to make an API to respond to different routes. Well, we're gonna fix that problem today, okay? You guys will notice right here, if we click most popular, our route handles to a new parameter called filter, which takes its key and value. The key is filter, the value is most popular. When we do it this way, you guys will notice that Qual's posts are sorted front at the very top, whereas my posts are front at the very end. But the default setting is the other way around. First, second, third post, Qual's first post, Qual's second, Qual's third. So what is this called in SQL, guys? It's gonna be like our sort, like ascending, right? This is how we're sorting our data, and this is how we should be doing it. We want to ideally be doing this on the back end, so the front, because the back end does it much better. Just put it that way. You don't want to have your front end grab data and still be sorting it again. That's like a bad design. This is where it should be done. All right, do we have any questions?
The most popular is trying to do most recent.
For now, yes.
Yeah,
That's fine. It's delivering most recent.
The truth of the matter, guys, has anyone here ever taught English? Anyone here ever taught before? Okay, I've taught English before, and I remember taking a part of my training process is that like you can have many different lessons that they cover the same topic. So like for me, I always think about like how many different ways we can cover the same topic, right? And essentially, I think that this is the best one. So I'm sorry, we're gonna do this one again because there's just so many topics that this one does well. A blog application. Almost every single framework you guys learn in the future, one of the first apps you're gonna build is a blog application. Okay, so let me go ahead and move my. So here you guys can see my terminal. This is where we're gonna be doing some black magic in a little bit. Wow, why is this so hard to resize? Okay, so we're gonna move into Sierra. Now we're gonna create a directory. We're gonna call it Flask Facebook. We'll call it Flash FB. I'm gonna cd into flash-fb. Now we need to set up our environment. So we're gonna run Python There, Python 3-m. I think we can do this without the Python 3. Let's see. Pretty sure. Now we'll see that we have this V&V folder. Additionally, we're going to need some folders called templates and static. We're also going to need a file called app.py, which will hold all our controller logic. Okay. Let's also create our get init. Okay. What else do we need here? We'll get add everything, get commit, initial, commit. Okay, I realized once again I made that mistake. We're not supposed to put in the environment file. Whatever. So let's go ahead and open up our code editor. And you guys will now see that we just have some nothingness. So we're gonna go ahead and set up our Flask application. It was kind of small. Okay, now we need to import from Flask, import Flask. We'll do app equals Flask app, our name. Okay, so will this work? Let's try it. Let's source our environment, and let's do Python app.py. Okay, so now it's complaining that we don't have this module called Flask. That's because I have not installed it yet. Pip Install Flask. So now we can try to run our Python app.py, and we see, what's it complaining about? Python app.py. Oh, it's because I didn't fix this thing yet, guys. So we do app.run. Debug is true. Okay, so now it's complaining that we got that port already. It's because I was running the other application. So I'm turning off that application. The other one. Why does the others? I'm running it again. Okay, finally. Now we have our server running at localhost 5000. Okay, you guys, this should all be reviewed, so I'm moving quickly, guys. You guys gotta stop me if you guys have any questions, okay? All right, this is review for like the next 30 minutes, and then the next 30 minutes, it's gonna be us learning something new. Sorry, so you guys have to bear with us because this concept, like I said, it's really fundamental. Right now, our application understands exactly how many routes. 0. We have told it no routes. And I'm gonna show you this diagram again, okay? Rails, routing names. I don't know. I always forget. I haven't been able to find a good one that I really like, guys. I really have looked for this. I'm sorry. Eventually, we need to find a bunch of routes that are going to allow us to manipulate some resources. Okay? So I'm going to start with the user. So right now, when our app first loads, let's pretend. No, let's not pretend. This is a real requirement. Let's say that the first thing the user has to do is sign in. So we can say app, and that root. We're going to say def home, and then we're going to say return, render template, register.html. So obviously we don't have that render template method available. It's not globally available. You guys have seen me do that before, so we're going to import it. Now we're just going to create a new file. We can call this one, we can call this one register.html. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in our HTML. And we're going to say that this is for registering. And what goes inside of here? We're going to have an H. Let's just go ahead and get Bootstrap. Get Bootstrap. We'll copy over this thing. Copy over this thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a div that is a row. Inside of here, we have div that is a column. And this column is column-12. Give some margin top of 5. And then we'll say inside of here is a container. Okay, so inside of that, we now need a form. So we're going to go ahead and look at our examples. And like I said, I always like looking at this one. We're going to copy all of this HTML. Not all of it, just the form. We're going to paste it here. Okay, so now we should be able to go there if our server is on. So let's go ahead and do that. What's it? Python app.py. Now it's complaining about us having an argument. We'd have a positional argument. Is it methods right here? I need to do that.
App.route.
Oh, my bad, yeah. Thank you. App.route. Why did no one help me there? Why? I trusted you guys. That's what happens when I trust students, man. Okay, so now we have our sign in. So we'll go ahead and create Lloyd at coderschool.vn8123. Okay. Now we can click sign in, but nothing happens. Why is that? Because our form right now does not submit. So we're gonna add a method here. I think is it method or methods?
Method.
Method? Oh, that's good. Okay, so this is gonna post, and it's gonna post to the exact same URL, okay? But actually, I don't want it to go there. I want it to go to this place called users. Yep. That seems okay to me. Because that's actually what we're gonna be creating with this form. We're gonna create a new user object. So let's just test to make sure it goes to the right place. I'm gonna submit it. Fuck. Now we see that we made a post, but why is it not to the right place? I think because I need to define this endpoint first. So we're gonna go ahead and define it. We're gonna do at app.route users, define create user. We're gonna say a whole bunch of black magic in here, right? What should I do in here? Can someone help me? Just give me a high-level overview. What am I supposed to do here?
You're supposed to make a database.
First off, you don't have a model yet.
I don't have a model yet. I'm supposed to do what now?
Create a table.
Well, we got to create an instance of a something inside of a table. And by convention, because the route says users, we should be creating a user. Right? Okay, so yeah, so let's go ahead and just start. You can do this either way. So we'll do if request.method is equal to post. Then we're gonna say if it's a post, then we're gonna say user is equal to user, and then we're gonna say email is request.form email. And then password is equal to request.form. Oops. Request.form password. Afterwards, we're gonna flash them. We're gonna say successfully signed up, and we're gonna flash them success. We're gonna say this one is a success. And then we're going to return a redirect URL for home. I realized I would have a home right here. Okay? So now we got a bunch of complaints. We don't have a thing called request or redirect or URL for. Now what do we have complaining about? Flash. And what's the next thing that we have complaining? What does that mean? Yes, we need to write some code that's going to define a user, right? We're gonna need to set up a database and stuff, right? Because this is a part of the process. This is a part of the job. Okay. So right now I'm gonna stop the server. We're gonna do flash or pip install SQL Flask SQL Alchemy. Okay. Pip install Flask SQL Alchemy. Okay, so let's keep moving. So now we need to go and do a part where we set up our database. We're gonna do app.config. And this is, I'm just gonna copy this one over because this is okay to copy over. We need to set some environment variables for our SQL Alchemy database. And line 6 right here, does anyone remember what this does? Line 6?
It has something to do with CSS.
Yeah. That's exactly what it has. It has to do with CSS. So if you guys look at any file that we get from a website, right? Oh, Facebook, I can find one. Dog, it's crazy how many elements they have on Facebook. It's fucking mind blowing. Let's look at this. I was looking at this yesterday. Look how many script tags they have. How many different things you gotta load up to run Facebook. This is just the head. Oh no, here's the head. It's crazy, right? So anyway, we got a little off track right here. Just know that files, right? When we get a response from our server, there's something here called a cache control, right? Every single response from the server tells you how long it's okay to hold on this file and not request it again, right? This has to do with performance because every single time the page loads, it's not loading every single file, CSS file again. Okay, and this is a more advanced concept that when you guys want to become advanced developers, you guys are probably gonna have to do some time researching this. So anyway, back to here, we also need to set our app secret. Okay, now we can do our class user. The first thing that goes in here is a user mixin, and then db.model. Okay, so you guys will now see that we don't have something called user mixin, so we need to import this from Flask login, I think. Yeah, import user mixin. In conjunction, let's go ahead and just grab everything else out. We need something called login manager. We need log out user, log in user, and then current user. Oh yeah, login required. Yeah?
Can you tell me what is the secret key again, please?
The secret key is like this thing that is used to encrypt our tokens. Just know that like our tokens, remember that step where we guys showed you guys the token, right? Where we showed you how to create a token. A part of that token, yes, it is the user's password and an algorithm to turn it into that password. But another part of it is this thing right here. The secret key right here is also hidden inside of it. So you need actually both of these things to be able to open up that token. So even if they knew like a lot of things about the token, right? If they did not also know the secret key provided by the app developers, they would not be able to open it. It's like both keys need to be, you need to have both of these keys to open up that token. Okay, so we now need to do pip install Flask login. Okay, I think that's good. Oh no. We also need to do some stuff here. So we can say ID is equal to db.column. And it's going to db.integer, and it's going to be primary key is equal to true. Next, we're going to have email. It's going to be db.column, db.string, and let's just say it's 100 characters. And unique is true. It has to be a unique email. Lastly, we're going to have our password, and that's going to be db.column, and the data type is going to be db.string. Let's do db.text, because the reality is a blog post, if your platform is good, You want people to produce all types of like super long ass articles on your website, right? So that people go to your website, right? Just like Stack Overflow or anything that you guys have Googled before, right? We want users to write a lot of content.
Yeah.
Oh shit, my bad. Damn, I'm so stupid. I started thinking about the next one post. I'm so sorry. So we do 255. Thank you for getting me back on track. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so now we need to do set password. And self is equal to password. Or my bad. What is this, guys? This is an internal method. This method right here, set password, will be called on an individual instance of our user class right here, right? So when we have a user, we're allowed to call set password on it. And in that context, self right here, you know, once again we talked about on login day, it means this instance, so this version of that user, right? So now we need to do self.password is equal to generate password hash, and we do password. Then we need to do def check password, and then we're gonna return here check, yeah, password hash, yeah, hash, and we're gonna give it first our self.password, and then we're gonna give it the password sent in when it's called. So now we need these two things. We need from work dot security import generate
password hash. Password hash.
Okay. All right. Is this right, Quan? I forget. Am I allowed to name this user? Is that user okay? Or users? Users, right?
User. Single. And then table name for the users.
Right? I don't know. I don't remember. Different frameworks give you different stuff. They're like in Ruby on Rails, for those of you guys who want to research in the future, Ruby on Rails will set up your database for you. There's a lot of free magic in there. Okay, so we need to also set up our database, I've come to realize. So we need to say DB is equal to SQL Alchemy.
You need to say, hold on, at the end, line 15.
You pass to the app. Line 15, I did what? Oh, colon, yeah, thank you. Oop. Oop. Oh. I think my keyboard's broken, man, for real. I know. I think I smashed my keyboard too hard or something. Okay, so we also now need from Flask SQL Alchemy import SQL Alchemy. Okay, all right. Will this work? We need to do one more thing. We're always doing that. We need to do a million other things, but we're gonna take it one thing at a time. We also need to do login manager is equal to login manager at. Okay, God, please, let's make this work. Yes?
You have to change the database name because you call DB that column, that you call it database secure.
Right here, you talking about?
No, in the or you don't need to.
That's fine, no worry about that.
It's okay. So you saying that should this be called DB or SQLite 3?
No, but if it doesn't matter, if it is like that, then you should call it different in the DB.column,
No.
or should DB.column, it's alright.
The DB is just a variable, you can name anything.
This thing right here?
Yeah.
No, okay, so then you call it.
Yes, you have to find somewhere else. DB part.
Yeah, I know it's right. That's right.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do Python. App.py. Okay, so now we didn't install Flask login. Pip install. I thought I did that. Man, there's something funky going on with this library. I just ran it. I guarantee you right now, if I deactivate it, I almost guarantee you, if I deactivate it and then source it again, it's gonna allow me to run it. Okay?
I think something wrong with your Python.
I'm sure. I want you guys to think about this, right? You know, like
Free app.
I wanted to be able to do it with just Python because right now I say Python.
You're not inside your virtual environment.
Oh shit, my bad. Fuck, I thought I did that earlier. My bad. When I close this, does it?
Yeah, when you close it, it's It's not closed. It's still there.
Do I have it in mind right now? Wait, let's just do it. Python app.py. Let's do deactivate. No, pip install flask login. Python. Okay. Cannot import module from last. So now let's try deactivating. I'm gonna source it again. Now I'll do Python app.py. Login request. Can I import login request?
Try to install it. That way request.
Login required. Thank you. I don't know why you gotta use that. I forgot why I gotta use that in a second. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, so we're back in operation, guys. Sorry. We open up the app. It says no user loader has been installed. Okay? So you guys can read the documentation, or you guys can build the app today and read your own documentation for future reference. So we need to define this route right here. And I made 2 mistakes. So does anyone know the other mistake I made? I haven't created tables yet. Right here. So we have to have this below our table definitions. Okay? So now we're gonna try it again. And this time we're gonna pray. And evidently God is okay with us today. So it works. So now we're still back to step 1. We're just trying to create a user. Okay, so now it's complaining about this method is not allowed for that URI. If we go to our request, we see that the request made a post to users. Okay. And then that taught us to home. Okay. Methods equal get. Oh yeah. My bad, this is one. Methods equal post. I know. Why didn't you guys tell me that before I wrote it? What the hell? Alright, so we're gonna write something here. There's a lot going on, guys. I hope you guys realize that there's a lot going on. Okay, so now it's complaining that our request did not send a key email. Who here remembers this? What went wrong here? Yes. We need a name right here. So we're gonna do name is equal to email. And then name is equal to password. So we're gonna do Loy 123 sign in. Okay, so I've successfully signed in. Correct? Who believes me? I have not signed in. I have, however, created a user. Whoa. Say again? Well, right now, this is just, I want you guys to make a distinction between routing and also what you have to show. This is just a route I'm going to use to create a user. I may not actually show something there right now. Right? So what was the problem? Why do we not have a user in here, guys? What's wrong with our code on line 39? What's wrong with this create user thing? Why do we not have a user in our database yet we filled out our form correctly?
You didn't commit it.
Yes, we need to write dv.session.add user dv.session.commit. Okay, and I just realized I did the password thingy wrong. You guys once again didn't help me, man. What the hell? Come on, guys. Like, yeah. So I don't know what else to tell you. So request.form password. Okay, come on. You guys need to help me. And we're gonna sign in. And will this work? Once again, we've successfully signed in a user. No, we haven't. We did another thing wrong. Why aren't you guys helping me? We need to log in our user. Log in user. Okay? Is URL for it? I always forget. Is this a method or the? I think it's the name of the method. I'm surprised I don't see a flash. Oh, why do I?
You haven't installed yet.
Yeah.
Haven't done that.
Exactly. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our resources. I always forget what this one. Flash. Fuck.
It's. I think it was in the resources somewhere.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Flash.
it's the gist somewhere.
Flask.
Okay, so your juice.
Okay. Okay, we were looking for a gist, right?
Yeah.
Flash. No. Flask. Flash. GIF. Gist.
It's in Discord.
That one, yeah, that one.
Is this one? So now we're going to put this inside of oops, this is getting really small. So now we're going to put this inside of our partial right here, our template. Okay, so please work. So now we need to do what? Let's go and close this. Let's sign in or register. Wow, what went wrong this time? What the hell? It's Loy at coderschool.bn. I sign in. The browser proxy sent the request out.
You name the form. Do you name it?
Right here, it's right here.
It's got spaces.
I think my keyboard is broken. It keeps like acting weird. All right, 1, 2, 3. I sign in. Okay, so we successfully created this user. So at this point, we want this form to be smarter, right? We're at our home path. We want this form to now hide, right? So right now, you guys can see our register.html is getting pretty sloppy, right? There's a bunch of code everywhere. It's responsible for all types of different things. And at the end of the day, it's gonna be much more difficult to manage. So I'm now going to, you guys know what the problem is, right? This file is just too long, right? So we're gonna create a new file called base.html, and this is gonna hold all the code that's gonna be common to every single file. So inside of here, we copy out register.html, and then the relevant part inside of base.html that we want to replace, we now do a jblock. This is going to be called body, and inside of register, we do extends, jextends, base.html, and then we do jblock, body. All right, in conjunction, that is not good enough. We want to say if else, okay? And what is this a conditional going to do, guys? We just signed in, right?
So you want
Why do we sign in? Why do we see a sign in form? Our job is to hide and show stuff on the screen. That's a part of our jobs, okay? So we're going to say if current user
if not current user.
is authenticated. No, so we say is authenticated. This one works too. There are so many different ways to do this.
You can do it either way around.
And like at the end of the day, it's not you guys like someone is going to be the technical lead and someone's going to decide what they like, and then you guys are going to write it that way. So there's no 100% right or no 100% wrong way. So right now, my expectation is if we're signed in, we should not see this current user, or this sign-in form, okay? Does that work? Let's test again. Signed in. That's actually what we see. Okay, so let's work smarter, okay? Let's get better. So we're gonna go ahead and see that this code right here is also gonna be repeated. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a new template here, a new partial. I'm gonna call this one flash messages.html. I'm gonna paste this here. We're gonna format. And then right now we're gonna do include, oh my bad, jfunc. Include flash messages.html. Okay, let's refresh and hope everything's the same. Okay, that's exactly what we see. So now we're gonna see, we're gonna do the same thing, except we're gonna do it for navbar. So now our skills at Googling, at Bootstrap are paying off, okay? All that hard work that you guys put in on week one and two with Bootstrap, it's paying off now. So now you know how to move quickly. You look at navbars, you just copy, or this thing right here, you click that button. You put this inside of, now we need to create a file called navbar. We're gonna paste it. We're gonna format it. We're gonna save it. We're gonna save flash messages. Save everything. Now we're gonna jump back to our register, and now we see this flash message. So because we're cloning Facebook, let's just go ahead and change this navbar name thing to Facebook. And because we can always copy and paste this later, let's just go ahead and delete everything we don't need. Right? And now we need to do a conditional here. We're gonna say J if, and what are we looking at? Current user is authenticated. Okay, so now we just need to copy this thing in. So if the user is authenticated, they should be able to log out. If not, they should be able to log in. And this right here should be a URL for login. I think this is gonna throw an error. Oh my bad, because this doesn't render, okay? So can someone help me figure out how to make this thing work? With given this example on line 21, how can we log out now? Can anyone help me? Log out. And then you'll see that this complains. This can exactly. So we now need to define that function in app.py. So we're going to say at app.route log out. We're going to define log out, and that's going to log out user. Right? We can call that function, and then we're going to say URL4, and we're going to say sign in.
We need not only require that, right?
I don't have we only have a register so far, right? This is users, this is where we go. Right here, this is where we go to create a user, right? So now we need to have a login. Yeah, we need to have a login. So we're going to say.
Do you need a login if you've already got that built at home? Because now.
This goes to register.html.
Register. Yeah, why don't you send it to register?
All right, fine. We can just send them register. I think you're right. I think about it. There's so many different ways to do this sometimes. You know, like to be honest with you, I get confused myself how we should be doing this the best way. So let's go ahead and do this. Now we got some syntax wrong here. It's complaining about something. Okay, yeah, forget that. Start it. Refresh it. Okay, we log out. Okay, so it should be, we could not build that endpoint. So what's in our navbar? So really we're looking for, we need something to do a log out, right? Why didn't this work?
Complain about login, which is what you got on your other one, which isn't a root yet.
Could not build URL for login, did you mean log out? Okay, so log in. I forgot where I did that though. Hold on.
So that was on your.
Oh yeah, because our nav bar right here. Yeah, our nav bar right here. There's a login over here. So right now it's saying that we don't have an endpoint for that, right? It doesn't understand this thing right here.
Essentially, it's just register.
Yeah. So we should just change this to register, or what?
I think you call it register.
Home.
Home.
Okay. So will this work?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, incredible. And you notice right here it also says login. So let's go ahead and create a new one. We're gonna say qual@gmail.com. 1, 2, 3. We sign in, and now we see that we successfully signed in. Incredible. We've also successfully signed out. So once we're logged in, we're still at our root path. Okay. So now let's go ahead and do some additional black magic. We're gonna go to register. And now we can see right here, this is on line 4 is the code that's executed if a user is signed in. So right now I want to, let's just go ahead and start, just like an app.js for React world, we're gonna do everything inside of here for right now. We're gonna do div.container, and I realize I just did this wrong. Div.row, div.column, column 12. Now we do that container. Now I'm gonna put in H1, hello. So we refresh. Now I don't like the way that looks. I'm gonna do a border and see what happens. Okay, so that's kind of where I want it to be. Let's make a view height of 100. Okay, I think that'll work. So now inside of here, what do we need to put inside of here? I'm gonna put a form, right? So we're gonna copy this form again, second time today. Copy that. Okay, I copied it twice. Yep. Okay, so we've copied the form. One of these inputs is gonna be body. I'm gonna delete this thing right here, delete the image. Please sign in, and this date, delete the checkbox, delete the password, delete the other button thingy. So save and see what we got. All right, so we got a beautiful form. So now we got to figure out how to create a post whenever a user clicks that button. So we need to do what? Once again, you guys will see that the logic here is kind of getting a little complicated, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take all this out, and we're going to put it inside of, we'll put this inside of, what should we call this? What's a good name? We're going to call this one.
Share form and like post form. I don't know. I think it's one.
We just call it home. We're going to say include home.html. Okay, so right now we need a file called home.html. We're gonna paste that code, refresh, and we still have it, okay? All right, so now this is focused on this form right here. And what can we do here? We need to update the form. It should be method post. Now we have a problem right here, guys. What's the other post action that will go to this URL? Actually, no, my bad. This one right here, this home route right now does not accept a post request, right? But that's okay. We don't want to actually submit there. We want to create a new, basically we want to be able to create a post, and we need to have a endpoint that maps to it, right? This endpoint is only responsible for creating posts. So we're going to do @app.route. We're going to say this one is /post. We're going to find create post here. And this is going to do what? If request.post or method equals post. And now we need to make sure it accepts that, right? Post. What are we going to do? Post is equal to post, and it needs to have what? It needs to have body is equal to request.form body, and then user ID is equal to current user dot ID. That's the very minimum that we have to have, okay?
Current underscore ID or current user dot ID.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ed. So now we need what? We need to find this post. So we're gonna move up here and we're gonna say, all right, our database needs to have more. We're gonna say create a table called post. It's gonna inherit from db.model. It's gonna have an ID. Let's just copy this one right here. Oop. And this is gonna be body. And this is what I said earlier, that we want this to be long, okay? We want people to write like whole articles. Okay, now one thing else, we need a user ID. And this is gonna be a foreign key. db.foreign, I think I spelled this wrong, foreign key. Because this is gonna be linked to what? Yeah, so this is gonna help us later on, just trust me. You guys got a couple options here, guys. You guys can listen very closely to what I say, or you can read the documentation. That's the only way we're gonna learn how to model these database, our data correctly, right? I can't tell you every single route. If I try to tell you every single route, it'd be wasting your time, or every single way to model it. You guys are gonna forget them all. We gotta look at this periodically. Okay, so now at this point, we forgot to do something here. We need to finish line 62. We also need to say db.session.add post, then db.session.commit. At this point, we can return a redirect to home, I think. Register. I return a redirect to home. Okay, we're going to our home route. Yep, thank you. You guys are helping me now. I like it. Okay, so maybe right now, this form right here, register, is not a good name. We can think about this one later, right? This you guys gonna see this happen a lot when you guys write code. You'll start off thinking one thing does one thing, but in the end, it does many other things as well, right? So this register.html, what is it doing, guys? It's deciding whether or not to show the user a sign-in form, right? Is this a sign-in form? A register form? This is a register form right here. So let's go ahead and actually just copy this. Register. Registration form. So now we're gonna say, okay, let's create a registration form. Okay, so really this register.html is actually kind of complicated. You need to have a conditional here. This is all here. Man, I feel good when I write beautiful code. I don't know about you guys. So now let's do this. We'll do our app.py. What? What did I do wrong here? User ID db.com, db.integer. User ID. Keyword can't be an expression. Is this? Okay, hold on one second.
Function, take a string.
Okay, my bad. I used this incorrectly. I'm sorry. So for db.foreign key, this is a function, and it takes user.id. It's looking at the table that it belongs to, and then it's going to look at the field right here that it's unique on.
So if you change the table name here to users, would it then be users.id?
Yes.
This is the thing I was talking about yesterday. So is that right?
User there is the name of the function of the table.
Model.
Table. Lowercase user.
Okay.
It's the name of the table.
Okay, thank you.
So this table right here.
Or you can have another syntax like remove the string and then use the name of the model.id. Basically they are the same. But you should use string. You should use string because sometimes you define user below post. So you get an error like not defined.
Well, I can't believe I put that post as a unique tree. My bad. Okay, so let's think about this. All right.
Don't use the relationship yet.
Oh, my bad. Fine. Let's just do it this way. Forget about all that. We're gonna learn about that on Monday, guys. It gets more complicated. So now we do python.py or python.app.py. Our server starts. We refresh the application, and then we say we need to fix this button actually. This form right here. So what am I looking at again? Base. So that my bad. We're looking inside of register. So that's a home.html. And inside of here, we just have one form. This thing submits a body. Let's change this to what's on your mind. Current user email. So what's going to change right here, guys? And in fact, our placeholder text does change. Our placeholder text does change. Because we changed the placeholder right here. Using what? What's this thing called? Jinja templating, okay? Jinja templating is huge. It's like a fucking book written on it online, basically. This is just one thing that you guys can do. And you guys have seen, obviously, there are many other things we can do. I'm sorry, I just want you guys to know that we're gonna be combining this in many different patterns, okay? We gotta understand how to do this. So now we're gonna say that this thing, instead of sign in, it says post. Okay, so we're gonna say watch Loy be sexy. We're gonna sign in, and you guys see what? Method not allowed. The method is not allowed for the requested URI. So we jump back over here. What happens? What was the problem? Because we made a method post, but we did not specify the correct action, and the action that we want to go to is slash post, because we're creating a post. So now now we have this defined. I suspect that this will work the second time around. So we're gonna say watch Loy crush bugs. I click post, and now you guys will see that there's a problem with the body. I'm confused. Name right here, my bad. I thought I already had it. Okay, try this one more time. Please, God. One post.
Please work.
Hey man, that's how it is, baby. That's how it is sometimes. So now you guys will see. We got a problem. Why didn't this work? Why don't I see I don't see post on here. We went to post. We don't have an error. Give respect. Oh, I don't think I deleted the DB. That's right. I never deleted this. So just delete this. Refresh. Oops.
Run again. Stop server.
My bad. Okay, so now we're gonna sign in. This time we're gonna be Loy. We're gonna sign in. Okay, we got our flash. We're gonna say one post. Did we create a post? Weird.
Error.
I think I have too many windows open.
There you go.
Isn't that fucking crazy? I'll just close a bunch of tabs and now it appears. Guys, I'm telling you guys, your tools, like you guys need to lie, cheat, or steal your way to a more powerful machine, or go work at a company that buy you a powerful computer. Even my computer is powerful. Sometimes it's a little trippy. I could have wasted 30 minutes fucking around Googling, but the truth is, I believed in myself, man. You know, like I felt like this had to work and it had to be something wrong. So sometimes you guys see me do that, say like, hey, maybe we should restart our server. Okay, and that's a real thing you guys have to do sometimes. It's called the Programmer's Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights. No, I was fucking around. I was just joking. I just realized I just said something. I did something really bad for posts, guys. Come on. Why no one help me out here? No, yeah. So that's one thing. We also need to have a created at. So we're gonna do created at. That's db.column. And when we create it, it's gonna be db.datetime. Yep. Datetime. Time zone is equal to true.
No, inside it. By default.
Okay. Now what we do? Time zone is equal to true.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this one does. Damn, girl. You educating me. You make me feel like I want you on my team.
Server underscore equal.
Okay. Tell me more, girl. Tell me more about what you know. db.func.now. Okay, so this is just basically automatically gonna upload it at local time. Okay, so save it. Let's go ahead and delete this database. Is that all we need? Created that. Let's just go ahead and do one more right here. Comments, right? Every post has comments. This is gonna have a user ID. It's gonna have a post ID, and it's also gonna have a body. Okay, so we're now starting to know what the model is of M.V.C. Or we should.
No S, man.
No S for comment. Thank you. Okay. So now we can start our server. We can start our database. Okay, so we've got now exactly 3 different models. And now we're about to combine these bad boys to be sexy. Okay? So what's the first thing we do? Let's just make sure that we can create an account. Lawyer at Coder School. 1, 2, 3. I create my account, I get my flash. So I'll say first post is a success. Second post. So we're at our home path and we're trying to clone Facebook. What do we need to do? Yes, we need to show our post. So we're gonna perform some black magic in here called Python. So inside of here, we're gonna do posts is equal to post.query.all. Fuck it, we're just gonna show them all right now. I don't even care if we're friends or not. So we're gonna show them all the posts. And then inside of our register, we're going to need to get something inside of our home. Will home exist inside of this? For posts, in posts, it's written in H1. We're going to say this one is equal to post.body. Will this work? Whoa. I think I should have. I think I should. Did I not create a post?
Can I see your database?
Why is my computer tripping?
There you
All right, so we got posts right here. Okay, that's right. Is that right? Huh. So we have our posts, 4 posts in posts. 4 posts in posts. Now we go to app.py. At our home route, we get all our posts. Post.query.all. We pass those posts to here into register. In our register, for posts in posts. Oh my god, I'm so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm so stupid, guys. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Okay, I fucked up. We had them the whole time. I just didn't scroll down. I apologize. Okay, so this doesn't look that great yet. Let's go ahead and look at Git Bootstrap. Once again, we are copy-driven developers. Yeah. So let's go ahead and just look at one. I don't know. It doesn't even matter which one, to be honest with you. We'll copy this one. And now I'm confused. Let's see. I think that this will work if it works like how I think it works. So I think by default, home will also get injected posts. Okay, pretty fucking sure. Yes, it did get in fact. So just know that right here in our home route, we injected posts into our register. And because home.html is a descendant of register, then it also had access to this variable called posts. Okay?
Can you explain that again?
So how did we get these posts right here on the screen? How? Well, at our home endpoint that we defined on line 46, we collect all the queries on line 48. We stick them in a variable called posts. Afterwards, we render a template called register.html, and we inject a variable here called posts. We can inject any variable we want. Right? We can inject as few or as many as we want into this register HTML template. Inside of our register HTML template, we include a home.html. So because of that, home.html has access to our posts. And in conjunction, because we just add students right here, we can also do for student in students h1 student. Should we see some students? Yes, we see Chloe, Ed, and Steve. Why? Because our controller collected some data by talking to our model. Our controller talked to our database right here, right? It collected that data, it took it, and it stuck it inside the view. And then afterwards, all three of those things work together, and they sent back the browser HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. If you guys look at our network, and we refresh, we can see at this URL, the home route, the response we get back is just basically all this HTML, right? And what produced this HTML? Our view, okay? All right, so enough fucking around. Let's get serious.
You want to take a break?
Uh,
It's been about an hour. We did this yesterday. I didn't think it